So I'm going to tell you something right now that'll probably make you think that I'm crazy. What do you think of me now?
Guitar Stuff with John.
Welcome to another Guitar Stuff with John. So, as you can probably tell, I'm having a little fun over here. And today is review day, as are many days here, because I have so many guitars stacked up waiting to go. Whoops. And so today I wanted to kill two birds with one stone. One of the things that I love about guitar and about guitar players and the instrument itself and the relationship that people have with the instrument, right? One of the things I love the most is the lore that goes along with certain aspects of acoustic guitar or even electric guitar in general. One of the things that I have said for years that has zero basis in science or fact or anything, it's all anecdotal, I think. I'm not sure if there may well be somebody out there that can tell us for sure that what I'm about to tell you is actually fact. But it's a lore fact. It's something that I'm not the only guy who says this. And I even talked to some people higher up in the food chain on this subject and found that they believe the same thing. So here's the lore. A guitar, okay, that is not natural. So a guitar that is either sunburst top or painted some color sounds different than a guitar that is not. It does. And I base this upon every guitar I've ever owned that was either black or sunburst. They don't sound the same as a guitar that's naturally just covered in clear poly or nitro, right? Why this is, I don't know. It's in my theory, and it's probably wrong, but it could be true, is that when you color a guitar, it isn't stain, it isn't lacquer, it's paint or some other substance. Or perhaps there's a treatment that has to go on the wood to accept a paint. And a sunburst is the same thing. It's different colors. We don't know what the chemicals in those colors actually do to the wood, especially on the top. And I think it does something. I think it somehow opens the guitar up more than normal, because as I've said, I've seen this 100 times where guitars that are not natural, just white tops, if you see a colored guitar, it's different. It doesn't sound the same. And I'm going to show you one right now. And it's one of my favorite instruments that's ever been made. This is the Yamaha LL16D, standing for Deluxe. It's the highest appointed 16 level guitar you can buy from Yamaha, and it's black. And the black one, it comes in natural as well, but the black one is the only one that sounds like this does. And it's across the board. I've owned 3 of these in my lifetime. And when I ordered this one from my friends in Toronto, Steve McConey, and I told him, he said, I'm a big fan of that guitar as well. And I said, yeah, it doesn't sound the same because it's black. And he said, I think you're right. I've noticed that myself. So this is the man that's literally in charge of distributing these instruments across Canada. Also believes this lore that a painted guitar sounds different, and in my opinion, sounds better. I'll leave you to be the judge of it. You've heard me play Yamahas on this channel before, but this thing here is just absolutely beautiful. Listen to this. I wish to God you could be in the room to hear how loud this is. Because it's coming through YouTube and I have a small compressor on it. There's no real way for me to translate. I'm having to yell over it. It's that loud. Again, these are also the factory bench strings, 80/20 not coated garbage strings. And it's just an absolute cannon. Like, there's just no way to get around it. It's so loud and so deep and has so much just wool on the bottom end. It's just... And every one of these that I've played in my lifetime that was black sounded like this. And every one that wasn't black didn't sound like this. There's something about the process of coloring this guitar, or any guitar in my opinion, that changes the tone profile. I don't know why that is. I have no idea. I've even talked to Boucher about this, and they won't make painted guitars or colored guitars. They say it's too difficult. The process of doing this apparently is really hard because it's probably a paint, right? And they gotta do it a certain way so they don't clog up the pores, and you could just imagine if this sealed up the wood, it would ruin the guitar. The guitar couldn't breathe, couldn't drink, couldn't expel water, couldn't age, lignin can't die, blah blah blah. Like, it's just, there's something about this that's magic. Seeing as I'm not an expert on these things, hopefully somebody will write in. They probably will, and tell me whether what I'm thinking is true. But anyhow, this is the LL16D, standing for Deluxe. It is made out of Engelmann spruce, rosewood back, solid rosewood back and sides. It has a matte finished black neck, black headstock, the proprietary low impact undersaddle pickup, which sounds incredible plugged in, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful guitar. It's just one of the most incredible instruments. And like I said, I've had at least 3 or 4 of these in my lifetime and let them go, and I hate it. I shouldn't have done it. There was one in particular that I owned before this one that a buddy of mine wanted, and I sold it to him, and I've regretted it ever since. But this one easily compares to it, and people used to come over to my studio and they'd be like, play the Black Yami. That's the one we want on the record, right? That's how good it is. It's just an incredible... Such an amazing voice. Like, it's just like a grand piano, as most of, the high-end Yamahas are all like that. They're just incredible guitars. So let's take a close look at it, and we'll show you the LL16D in black. That's very important. It's black. All right, so here we are at the headstock of the LL16D in black. And as I've told you, I think this has some strange advantage over other guitars, and I really think when you listen to it, look at how nice that is. Each one of those letters is put there with a scalpel, stabbed with a scalpel and glued there by hand. I love that. Everyone's different. You can see how it's not quite perfect in certain places. Anyhow, we got micarta nut. We got rosewood fingerboard. I believe that's rosewood, or it looks like rosewood, but it probably could be ebony too. And I've got the old-fashioned snowflake inlays, which I really love. Those are beautiful. They're done in mother of pearl. And all bound in, this is the faux fossil plastic around the neck. But the body is bound in maple. And look at this body. Look at the abalone in this. It's just gorgeous. They did a fantastic job of this. They have a double line of abalone around the sound hole. There's our label, the LL16D, signed by Hiroshi again. And the tortoiseshell Yamaha shaped pickguard. We have an ebony bridge, micarta saddle, plastic pegs. Boo! But you can replace those. And of course, well, the back and sides aren't much to see because guess what? They're black. And there is a maple strip going down the center, as you can see there. Really nice. But you can't see any grain, of course. It's all black. And I love this matte finished black neck. Not exactly sure how they achieved that, but it's super, it's so slick. It is so fast. It's just like greased lightning, the back of this neck. So much fun to play. And yeah, so there you go. That's the LL16D for deluxe. LL16D and in black. And I don't know. I just I think it's a sharp as hell guitar. And I also believe that my insanity about the color of the guitar changing the tone is true. It certainly bears out in this particular instrument, and every other Yamaha 16D I've ever played that was black sounded like this one. And the naturals don't sound like this. They sound great. They're also incredible, but this beast here is something else altogether again. Yamaha. Can't beat them. Can't join them either. Favorite Tony Rice lick ever. What a great lick. God knows. I can't wait till I put some D'Addario XS on this, or even Elixirs. This thing is going to be killer. And it's killer now. So I don't really know what else to say to you, except I don't know if my theory is correct for any scientific reason or luthier reason, but it certainly seems to bear out in all of the guitars that I've encountered in my lifetime, even down to Boucher. My favorite Boucher that I own, well, I shouldn't say the favorite, but maybe it is, because it's the one I keep going back to, is Boo Boo, which is a Sunburst Dreadnought. There's something about that guitar, and it's hard to put your finger on, but it's so warm and inviting and responsive for some reason, more than a naturally colored top. And I have no idea. Maybe the paint on a black guitar, especially these guitars, maybe it acts like torrefaction almost. It's hard to say. Like, I don't know what the answer is, but that's why we do these videos, because I get to talk to a lot of people that might know things like this. But I can definitely tell you one thing. If you ever see one of these hanging anywhere, an LL16D Deluxe, and it's in black, buy it, because you will not be disappointed. It's a guitar that will just blow your mind. And as most of these Yamahas do, the price point on these guitars is astounding for what you're getting. This guitar, I can vouch for the fact that they will stay together through thick and thin, hot and cold, dry and wet. I don't care what you put them through. You pull them out of the case and they're in tune. It's crazy how well they're built. And there's a lot of technical things that I'm leaving out of this because they don't really matter. What matters is the sound of the guitar and how it plays. It plays flawlessly. It has a neck to die for like butter. It has a tone that's huge, huge volume, huge tone. Really, really easy to play and inspiring. That's what Yamaha does, and all these great builders that I talk about here all the time on here, they inspire us to play more, right? And if you play more, you will eventually play better. That's the key. That's the key to all things guitar. You can't do anything as a guitar player unless you're willing to put in hours and hours and hours of work. And it shouldn't be work. It should be fun. It should be relaxing. It should be calming. It should be zen, healing. And that's what it is. If you look at it as work or as unpleasant, maybe you should step away from it for a while until you realize how lucky you are to have the desire to play. And whatever level of talent that you have, you don't need to be a genius to play guitar very well. You don't have to be a musical genius or some uberly talented whatever angelic gift. That's all bull. Play the guitar because you love it. You can't beat that feeling. And the more you play, the better you'll get. And this is the guitar right here. And it's just singing while I'm holding it. This is a guitar that will definitely inspire you every day to pick it up. And it's a guitar that you can count on the road. You can count on anywhere you take it, as all Yamahas are. They're all the same. So there you go. There's the LL16D, Engelmann spruce, rosewood back and sides, and by God, you can't beat them. They're just a beautiful, beautiful thing. Can't help it. They're awesome. So there you go. There's another guitar stuff with John for you. And thank you, Yamaha. Thank you, guys. Hit subscribe, hit the bell, do the thing, play the guitar, be happy. Guitar.